That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode 134 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling. My name is Adam and I'm back on the pod. You can breathe a sigh of relief, listeners, because I'm back to steady this sinking ship. There's usually four of us. We haven't done too great recently of getting us all together, but you know, it's pretty fucking shit out there at the moment with everything going on, so don't blame us. I am here. Could you tell who else was here from the laughs? John, you're here.
Hello, how's it going?
Brett, you're here.
I am. Hello.
Hello. And that means Sam isn't here, and we were just speculating just before this recording, does Sam have COVID? We don't know, do we?
We don't know yet. Fingers crossed he doesn't.
Fingers crossed he's... Yeah, I suppose we should say that. He's not very well. I believe he's had a test, but he hasn't had the results yet. So, I mean, the quiz is next week. Do you think he's just trying to get out of that after losing the last one?
Oh, do you reckon he's running scared?
I reckon so.
Maybe.
Anyway, I won't dwell. I'm not going to ask you guys how you're doing because this has been one of the worst weeks ever, really, in terms of news and just lots of stuff to get us down. So we're going to try and cheer you up, listeners, by talking about wrestling, WWE specifically, TLC, the final pay-per-view of the year. And we're going to do that after this break.
Oh, what an explosion of a human body on the ring apron.
The hardest part of the ring.
Yeah, very small, if any, padding. It's basically that mat you're looking at. And that damn thing is nothing but feels like sandpaper.
WWE TLC 2020, as I said, the final pay-per-view of this godforsaken year. I text you guys before this to say that this was by far and away the least excited I've been about a pay-per-view since we've been doing the podcast. I think that might just be because it's just been a rough week and I'm a bit miserable. Because actually the card and the packages and things are quite exciting. How are you feeling going into this, Brett?
Yeah, I was not jazzed either, I have to say.
No,
I was like, yeah,
John?
okay.
It was definitely a bit of an effort to press play. But once it did, it was good. I feel like everyone's kind of in the same boat with this. Like, judging from reviews online, everyone's like, oh, this was actually all right.
Yeah. I found exactly that. As soon as I pressed play, I was like, hold on a minute, I do like wrestling and I do like watching wrestling and this is actually a lot of fun. So we will get to talking about the matches shortly. It was, of course, held at the Thunderdome. Comms team, we had the usual suspects, just doing the usual rotation now. No surprises there. The card, because Sam isn't here, Brett, you can do the card and ask yourself if you watched the pre-show.
Yeah, so Brett, did you watch pre-show? I did not, but seeing this in the card, I wish I did because, you know, a lot of faves in there. So pre-show was a 4-man tag match with Big E, Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable and Otis on one side versus King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura on the other. A lot of talent.
Shinsuke who?
That's a lot of talent. There's some big old names there. Daniel Bryan. You could have Daniel Bryan versus Nakamura could have headlined WrestleMania a few years back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty mad.
And all the good work Sami Zayn's doing, and he's on pre-show. You know, what does someone have to do?
At least he popped up a lot during the show, because I didn't watch the pre-show, so I was happy to see him popping up and interacting with Big E and looking very hairy. Looking very like you, let's be honest, Brett.
Yeah, the similarities.
Sammy's my spirit animal, my spirit wrestler.
Definitely.
So we'll go on to the main card. We kick off with Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles with his bodyguard Omos for the WWE Championship in a TLC match, followed by Sasha Banks versus Carmella with Reginald Thomas for the SmackDown Women's Championship, We have a tag match with the Hurt Business, which is Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin with MVP versus the New Day, which was the Kofi. Well, it's just Kofi and Xavier Woods now anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the Raw Tag Championship. That was followed by a Women's Tag Team Championship match with Asuka and a mystery partner versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. What happened to Lana? She got destroyed. Boo.
It's for the best.
Then we had Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship in a TLC match. And finally, because I thought the previous match was the main event, we had Randy Orton versus The Fiend in a Firefly Inferno match.
It would have been quite funny if Reigns and Owens did follow Orton Fiend. Just working around the Fiend.
Yeah.
Is what's his name? Reginald Thomas. Is he the first sommelier in wrestling?
That's interesting, isn't it? Can we think back? There's probably something during the Attitude Era, and it would have been a female sommelier with a very short skirt, probably, wouldn't it?
You know what? Eric Rowan. I think he had a wine gimmick at a point, didn't he?
Eric Rowan. I mean,
he had a gimmick where he was
an impressive fact
like
if it's true.
Expert.
Sommeliers in wrestling. Let's see what comes up on the old Google. I'm back on it. I'm back on Google. No, it all just comes up with stuff about Reginald. Although apparently there's something here. You can do a sommelier smackdown at the Wine School of Philadelphia. Wow, this is some sort of wrestling-related wine course. I might have to get this for one of you guys for, not so Secret Santa. You just need to pay for your own flight to Philadelphia. Anyway, sorry, back on track. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the key matches first, as per usual. Obviously, we're going to cover the 2 TLC matches, and then we've got to talk about the main event, the Firefly Inferno match, and we're going to do it chronologically for those 3 matches, and then we'll go and talk about other good things, other bad things, and all that kind of stuff. So we'll kick things off with the first match. Came in hot. I was very excited about this. It was Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship in the TLC match. Brett, what do you think? Did this get you excited? You love AJ.
I do love AJ Styles, and his hair's looking fantastic.
It is, yeah.
I know you guys rarely agree with me on the old soccer mum hairdo.
Is it too perfect, his hair? Is it time we call out a wig, potentially?
Yeah, maybe. It doesn't
wigs can't work in wrestling, can they?
It
Sasha
doesn't
wears
change.
one, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does, and you notice it often when it's...
and she notices it.
Yeah.
If there was a bit where she was selling and she clearly adjusted it, and I was like, if you were really hurt, you wouldn't be caring about your wig. Anyway.
So... First off, I wasn't jazzed about it because it's a singles TLC match. I like them when there's 4 or 6 guys in it, all battling, because then more can happen and it's more fun. When it's just 2 guys, it basically becomes a hardcore match.
Yeah,
essentially, and they're not my favourite. And this fell into that. I think it wasn't bad. I don't know. It was just it was okay. The bit later on in the match, I'll let you guys talk a bit, but the actual interference bit did pick up my spirits for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it definitely got better this match. Can we talk about that? Let's talk about the cash-in, right? Can we just go straight to the cash-in?
Yeah, please.
If you want to go straight to the cash-in, then do it.
Yes.
So Miz cashes in.
Yeah, and it was brilliant. I like Miz's expressions. Just, I think, picked it up in themselves. He just gives so many great stupid faces to reactions to stuff.
Yeah,
I'm going to take it back from the cash-in now. No, no, sorry. I realised you wanted to talk about the cash-in, didn't get a chance. Go on, John.
I just thought it was really fun. It definitely picked up. It was really exciting. I love it when Omos got involved, and there was a bit where I think Morrison tried to hit him with the chair on the back, and he just no-sold it completely. He just took it like a fucking trooper
and broke the chair.
And broke the chair, yeah, fuck.
There wasn't even a wince there, was there? Like sometimes when people know self-beat stuff, you're like, ugh. But
he's a giant of a man, though.
is.
He's huge. Then he chases Morrison out.
Yeah.
And then
he goes
also
to Morrison's.
I bet he does.
Bit of shopping in Market Street. Omos is not a great name, is it? Or
No.
Omos. I mean, that's probably a Vince creation.
Is he the same guy that was introduced in that Greatest Royal Rumble as Babatunde or something?
Oh, I think he might be different. I think he played. I think Sam said this on a previous pod. I think he played the ninja in that bit.
Yeah,
with the
he
Street
did
Profits,
that.
Yeah,
I thought it might have been that same guy.
I think that Bamba Tumbi guy's even bigger though, right? He was.
I love
gigantic,
the
that dude.
combination though of this bodyguard and AJ Styles, just for the size difference and the comedy value with AJ's character. You know, like it. I think that's great.
I think AJ. This is sort of AJ back to his best. Like we're seeing him in a title match, proper title match, going for the championship in a TLC match. Obviously, we've seen him in one before, and I thought he was amazing in this match. I thought he sold brilliantly. He took some bumps in this, some big old bumps, and I know in the next TLC match we'll talk about there were some huge bumps, but I really liked it. It took me a while to get used to the constant hum of the fake crowd.
Oh, that really annoyed me
loud.
throughout the whole pay-per-view. It just becomes like that sort of
white
wind
noise.
tunnel noise, isn't it? Like, where it just circulates. It's like going on a...
and it just felt too loud. It was like, even with the comms, it's like, I'd love if just turn it down a touch. I don't really know what the thinking is behind having it that loud. But yeah, I think that, there were quite a few bits where AJ was selling really well, but then also when he was doing the calf crusher with the ladder, and then he did the calf crusher with the chair after, they both looked really cool. And I particularly enjoyed the bit where that sequence where AJ slid under the table, then gets up, goes off the table for the forearm, but Drew flips him into the ladder, and then he just bounces all over the place. Like AJ got tossed all over the shop in this, and he sold beautifully.
Yeah, there's a bit where Drew literally threw him miles out of the ring. Was it just before Miz cashed in?
Yes, yeah. That
missed,
looked great as well.
Because I think he was meant to go through the table on the outside, but he almost missed it. It went flying.
Nearly hit the ladder as well. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed the match before the cash in, but again, like I thought the cash in worked well, and what I really liked is that all of the ladder stuff at the end, it kind of worked. There were no bits where somebody was like pawing at the belt, and it was like, oh god, where's the other guy? The timing was really great, and that's probably because we're dealing with three, experienced and top professionals. But I really like this match.
Yeah, I think they did well because obviously Miz didn't win, which is good because I don't want to see a Miz championship run at the moment.
No.
And they made Drew look really strong by basically fighting off like 4 people for that belt, right? Him, Morrison, Miz.
Yeah.
And AJ.
And Miz, him cashing in and failing will work with the story long term. You can already see what they've been doing on Raw. I think that's going to look nice. It's not like Baron Corbin failing and it just destroying him.
Yeah, that briefcase has become cursed, hasn't it? The last few people have had it and done much with it.
No, it's true.
I think it's because creative don't really know what to do with stuff. They don't have any long-term plans. It all seems quite short-term.
What do you mean? No, I think you're right. But yeah, all in all, I thought a great start, a really great start, and got me hyped and in the mood for what's to come. Cool. The other guys are in agreement. You can't see the chat, but they are nodding.
Sorry, that's not great for audio.
Okay, so up next we will skip ahead to the next TLC match. This one was for the Universal Championship. Oh, kind of a dream match in many ways. Roman Reigns, especially current Roman Reigns, up against one of our all-time favourites, Kevin Owens. John, I know what you're going to say. You love these guys and you love this match. Would that be fair?
Oh my god, I know I'm bad for recency bias, but fuck, I love this match. I love this match
I've ever seen.
so much.
Yes.
It might not be the best match I've seen this year, but it's definitely one of my favourite. Like, I just think it was brilliant. And I love the fact they continued what was happening in SmackDown last week, where Kevin Owens just wouldn't give up. Like, all throughout the show, he was getting beaten to a pulp, but kept getting back up. And that's what happened in this match. Like, he started off really hot, hit a load of suplexes, and Jay comes in and he hits Jay with a chair mid super kick. super cool. Jay gets carted out. Kevin's on top. They're hitting spots after spots. Roman gets a bit of control. More spots, stunners, spears, Superman punches. Jay comes back out. Kevin Owens just won't quit though. He keeps getting up. He's speared through the table. He rolls to the outside of he dodges a spear through a barricade. I think he's going to get the belt. I think this is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for my entire WWE watching career. Kevin Owens is going to get that belt back. And then Jay stops him. He comes running back out.
Third time.
Oh, then Roman gets the guillotine on and gets the win. Oh,
okay.
Fuck, I love this.
That's the match reviewed then. So the next match. That was great. Like a little highlights package for anybody who missed it.
Yeah.
Brett, do you feel the same way? Of course you didn't feel exactly the same way, but did you like it?
I more than the first table TLC match, I at no point thought Kevin Owens was going to win. And in fact, I was always expecting Jay's going to come in at this point and Roman's going to come in at this point. I actually thought it telegraphed quite a lot in this match what was going to happen, So like, it was just spots that you knew that Roman was going to reverse, like the, a power bomb and flip him over onto the chairs. There was just spots that I just knew was going to happen. And every time Kevin Owens, I was like, he's not winning. Like Roman on this current stretch, he's not winning. So that did ruin it for me. Like there were some great spots. I did think Kevin Owens hitting Roman with the fisherman's through that chair essentially, because it was over like the top of like the chair spine. Like that looked brutal.
We didn't get a replay of that.
No,
and it was one of those where there was a little gap where there could have been a replay, and I was like, I really want to see that again because that looked great. And you don't tend to see Roman getting tossed about like that often.
No, and that is what I liked about this match. I like the energy like KO brought at the start, like with the, with his cannonballs and stuff, and like he is one of my favourites in WWE, and I was hoping, I never thought he was going to win, but I was hoping I might be surprised in this match because I thought he was brilliant in this match, like with all the moments John mentioned. But and the other thing that got me is like they make Drew, like you say, look really strong, take on multiple guys, still win. Roman, who is like the guy, the tribal chief, always needs help now to win. Like he would have lost if it wasn't for Jay. But he's
the bad guy though, right?
But he still defeats Drew.
But
previously
doesn't, like, his character is so much more rounded and it's so much better with him like this than as opposed to old superhero Roman Reigns.
No, totally. I still don't like the Superman punch.
No,
I do like an orange punch though.
Yeah, well there you go. So it's not necessarily the move. I didn't necessarily ever think Kevin Owens was going to win, but I was just enjoying the spectacle of it.
Not even that last bit at the ladder.
The stuff
after
with
Reigns
the
went through the barricade, Jay was out.
I thought the camera work was totally telling me what was going to happen though, because it was hiding who was just about to grab his ankle or something every time.
Brett, I'm not sure about this because there was a bit that was really, really not telegraphed, and I'm going to give Michael Cole the benefit of the doubt and say that he meant it, because there was that bit where they were showing a replay and Michael Cole, it was when he was put through the ladder and Michael goes, spine buster through the table.
Yeah, I know.
And then it shows the replay of it again and he goes, through the table, I mean ladder. He was trying to throw you, I think. But also that particular spot, the spine buster through the ladder, that was so brutal. That looked, I don't know if it was the way that the ladder was angled and maybe the majority of his spine was actually in the gap, but I was just like, how can he even get up from that? Like, surely that's just got his coccyx, or it looked amazing.
The first one though, because he like slammed him. Did he choke slam him on the ladder straight after during like the replay?
Yeah, that was it.
Well.
It was the second one during the replay that looked.
Yeah, because
really,
it was
really
like
bad.
on its sides and right across the. Oh yeah, that looked nasty.
And throughout there were loads of spots where, like, I thought even like Roman with the ring steps earlier on in the match, he was, and I was like, are those like lighter ring steps than normal? Maybe they were, because he was really smashing them.
Yeah,
down
he was. They bent a bit as well. Did you see? Like they weren't met, but like. And where he was hitting, there was an actual support strut, like going up at that point. So that can't have been nice.
and chair shots as well. Like he was doing stuff with the chair,
But-
not doing the standard stuff
No.
where it hits the floor. He was going at different angles, and there was a lot of stuff where it's like maybe these guys really have the trust with each other, where they're like just batter me.
I
Just batter me.
think that's a bit of Kevin Owens being a bit
he's so
bit Mick
good, isn't he,
Foley
Kevin
there, isn't he?
Owens?
Just like
It's
just hit me.
Yeah,
Every time I see him wrestle, like I believe in him as like a fighter. Like I just want him to win all the time. I just get
At
caught
some
up into his
point-
character.
I want them to just go full
Yeah.
behind both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, both brands, and then they can each brand can have them as champ, and then they can have another classic
Yeah.
against each other. Like that
I'd
just
take
needs
that.
to happen.
how sort of iconic was that image of Kevin Owens slumped in the table when he got speared through the table, and you sort of I kind of wished that he'd stayed there for longer, because it was just the way the table was sort of on his head, and then he just moves and rolls out. But yeah, I loved it, and I really enjoyed the end. Just the low blow kind of makes sense, and then the guillotine, because it was like, yeah, Kevin Owens you basically are going to have to obviously not kill him, but you're going to make him pass out before he loses.
And
that looked good.
Kevin Owens sold that well, because he had to look like he wasn't in control of his body as he fell off the ladder.
Off a big ladder, yeah.
and I thought he did that really well.
Oh fuck, man! Even just talking about it, fuck, I love Kevin Owens. God damn it!
Yeah, that is what I loved about this match. I'm still not on the Roman train. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I was getting there, and then I'm like, no.
That was Roman's first ever singles win at a TLC, apparently.
Good fact. I feel like this was the first Kevin Owens singles match we've had on a pay-per-view for God knows how long.
Since WrestleMania or something. That's what it feels like. Which was a great match with Seth Rollins, of course.
Oh,
It feels
of
like
course.
a lifetime ago.
Jumping off the sign.
Back before the Thunderdome or crowd noise. Just playing wrestling in silence. Oh my God. What a weird time. Okay, so...
Speaking of weird,
yeah.
let's move on.
Let's move on to the match. I mean, okay, actually, before we get onto this, I'm with you. Like, if the pay-per-view had ended after this match, this would have been one of the all-time great pay-per-views that we will have reviewed, I think, or at least one of the best of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Because it would have been 2.5 hours. It had been bookended by 2 great TLC matches with some good stuff in the middle that we'll talk about. And you just knew that this wasn't going to be a good match. It was going to be something that a lot of people are going to complain about, and there's going to be some weird shit. But anyway, we will talk about it, because it is, of course, the Firefly Inferno match between The Fiend and Randy Orton.
Am I right in thinking as well? You win this by setting your opponent on fire.
Yes. Yeah.
I was not aware of that until the announcer said it, and I was like, what?
Well, I was confused because it felt like they never called it in the ring, right? There was no like bell ringing once the Fiend got set on fire, even before, like, because he got set on fire twice, right?
Yeah.
Once before the KO and once after it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there's
actually.
no bell.
Wait, did they need to call it? I think we all know what happened. I know what you're saying, though. Of course, they should call it, really.
But I was saying, at what point did Randy win? After the first fire or the second fire?
Well, it was the first fire. I was like, and it kept like, there was loads of slow stuff afterwards, and I was like, he's won. Why have they not announced he's won?
Yeah. So if you didn't see this, it is light any part of your opponent on fire, and we had like a bit of a match, and basically, we've got R.I.P. Wyndham Rotunda. I'm shocked that they did that, but they set a man on fire and he's now dead. Brett, did he deserve it?
Did he deserve it? Maybe.
No. I mean, it was quite fun. Anyway, we'll get to that because that's the end of the match. The guys came out. Obviously, Randy came out in jeans and a hoodie. That's good because I thought immediately
took forever to get to the ring.
It kind of immediately showed that both of them had the attire that could get set on fire. You know, if Randy had just come out in his pants, then you'd know what was going to
go in a dark place.
That's true.
Just see Randy stuffing asbestos down his trunks before he goes out.
I liked. It's weird. Like, obviously, it's not a match, but I'm not going to shit all over this. I thought it was quite fun. You couldn't do this with a crowd because it was edited in a lot of places, and there were flames everywhere.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed those flames. I thought that looked cool.
Yeah, when they first popped, like came on, I was like, whoa! I was not expecting that at all. Like it was it was huge.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a bit funny that there have bits where the flames would grow for a specific move, almost as if
someone was
people
hitting their button
they
every
knew
time.
what to expect.
Yeah.
My main thought throughout this was, how have they done this with the editing with the crowd? Like, are they telling everybody in their ears, okay, hold on a minute, we're just going to cover this rocking chair in fake blood, and we'll be back to the match in a second? Or do you reckon they were just looping some of the crowd video and actually the crowd weren't watching?
Oh, when they were,
I love thinking about those.
I don't know, yeah, because some of it was apparently some of it was on the night, some of it was pre-record. That's what I read somewhere.
Anyway, I'm going all over the place with this. John, save us. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite slow and ploddy, which is kind of think what we all expected. There was some cool stuff in it, like when I started getting all this, like there's a belt that was on fire, that was cool. The bit with the rocking chair, Randy on the rocking chair, and there's like a trail of gasoline.
Yeah.
You've got out of the way just in time. And then I think the best bit of the match, right, was when Randy pushes the Fiend into one of the fires. He sets on fire, stumbles into the ring. Whilst on fire, Randy RKO's him, and it looks sweet as. Like, that looked cool. And
it was the Fiend as well, wasn't it? It wasn't some stunt guy. You could tell it was him. I like that.
And then, obviously, Randy covers the Fiend's lifeless body in gasoline and sets him on fire, and we see him burning, presumably to death. Maybe just serious burns. Maybe he's in ICU at the moment. Who knows?
And that was when Samoa Joe was like, somebody stop him. I was like, Joe, just get up. Just get up.
You're
Like, he's about to set fire to a man.
You're able to move.
Yeah. You're going to stop
Maybe
Randy
his
Orton going
suit
to
was
prison.
very plastic, like a lot of polyester. Do you want to go anywhere near that?
Yeah,
You're like a shot.
But yeah, surely Randy's going to end up in jail for this. WWE are going to get sued by the Rotunda estate. And surely it's going to be the end.
I quite enjoyed it though, as a bit of like a horror spectacle. Like, especially if I was a kid, I would have loved this. I would have lapped this up.
That's what I was thinking. Younger fans, we're all, mid to late 30s. It's not aimed at us, that kind of stuff. I mean, there are a lot of people our age who would really get into it as well, but we want the proper technical wrestling matches and all that kind of stuff. This isn't necessarily for us. Anyway. I
don't think we're ever going to get that with The Fiend, though, are we?
Exactly.
I don't think we're going to get it with The Fiend versus Orton either. We've seen what they do together before.
Yeah.
And it's never been like
House of Horrors, wasn't it? House of Horrors match.
And and then wasn't there a WrestleMania where they like projected all these images onto the mat, like worms and shit? Do you remember the worms?
Yeah, because it wasn't quite dark as well. Like, it wasn't quite night time yet. They were quite early in the card.
They keep putting them against each other, but I don't know. It's not. There's no great chemistry there, I don't think.
No,
it's just they're both quite slow and ploddy, I guess.
It was a shame. I sort of, it took the edge off the pay-per-view a little bit for me, but it's fine. It's just something a bit different, a bit fun.
But yeah, I still least favourite match on the card, certainly, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, bit of fun, burning a wrestler to death.
For the kids. Kids love that stuff.
Yeah. Kids are all about burnings these days.
Yeah. You've got to aim something at those young children.
It's what TikTok is, isn't it? Just a burning platform.
Was there any don't do this at home messages around this match? I don't recall seeing them.
No. I was watching this with my wife and she did point out that, is this a PG product? I mean, this seems
actually, I mean, that's a good time to bring up Sam's message, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he? He sent us a message. Obviously, he was like, "Sorry, guys, I'm not going to make it." That's how I imagine he's talking. He sent it via a text, and he said, "My one contribution for tonight: WWE is a WWE is a PG production. One of the first life lessons you learn is don't play with fire."
Yeah.
So
coming from Sam as well, that is
exactly.
Yeah. Also, this close to Christmas. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We wanted the Santa Claus from that Lex Luger match. That's what we needed.
God. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, Brett, I didn't let you talk much about that match, but it's not like you're going to go, guys, I thought this was a masterclass.
No, I think most of the Fiend matches, some great visuals.
Yeah.
Like, visually, you know, looks stunning, but the match itself, not giving much. And the Fiend, like, I mean, he is not successful, is he?
No, he does seem to lose an awful lot of matches.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a gimmick that's not working for him.
A couple of months to be for the US title, I reckon.
If he'd come out and had a straight wrestling match with Randy, it would have been shit. So
Totally.
this
I
is
just
what they have
like,
to do.
they keep giving it to him, but they don't let him win.
No, it does seem
Like,
weird.
let the guy win.
Well, I think
But you
unless
can't.
it's continuing on, like, I haven't seen Raw yet, but unless this is continuing on, it doesn't make any sense for Randy to take this win. He doesn't need it.
Well, actually, Paul Bearer came back with a new urn. No, well,
That would be cool though, right? Like a hologram Paul Bearer, get him back.
no. Alexa Bliss, that was the one. That's the name I was searching for. Alexa Bliss came out. He didn't come out, and basically she sort of said he's gone, but who knows where he is. So I think basically he's going to be out of the picture for a while, which is good, because if you're going to get burnt to death in the middle of the ring, you shouldn't really come back on Raw the next night. And I think he is the kind of character, we've talked about it before, where it is probably best to have pretty decent gaps in between his bouts. He's got to go and recover mentally as well as physically. Okay, so that was our three sort of in-depth reviews with quality analysis from three wrestling experts. Now we're going to talk about best of the rest, worst of the rest, top performer, that kind of stuff. So best of the rest can be a specific match. It might be a particular moment. John, what would you like to talk about?
Well, I want to say, actually, I thought all the other matches on this card were really fun and I enjoyed them a lot. But I want to mention Sasha versus Carmella.
Yes.
Just because I think Carmella is such an underrated, like, mid-card heel in the women's division. Like, every time I've seen it, no matter what gimmick she has, I hate her. But she's really good at the ring. She's great on the mic. I love that submission, the Code of Silence.
Code of Silence, yeah, it's good.
I think that looks great.
It's very easy to get out of, though, by the looks of it. The way Sasha just went, oh, no, I'll just put my head down and then slip off. But it does look
Grab
good when
your
it's locked
arm
in.
and you're done.
And obviously Sasha's killing it at the moment. I just thought they had a really good match. It's good to see Carmella back again.
Agree, Brett?
Yeah, totally. I thought it was a really good match. Sasha's great. You know, three amigos hitting the frog splash, the meteor on old Reginald and stuff. That so good.
What I was surprised about with this match is Sasha's got a terrible record of defending belts, right? Like, she wins it and then loses it straight away. I'm surprised that wasn't made more of going into this match.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is one that was definitely not in doubt for me at all, what the result was going to be. You know, Carmella's not going to come back and win the title straight away. There was no chance of that happening, I don't think.
Oh, see, I did think that just because Sasha's terrible at defending.
Yeah, but I'm fully with you. Like, the notes that I made were all about mostly about Carmella, just how she is underrated and how she's really innovative in the stuff that she does. And I liked old Carmella. Yeah. I liked her old gimmick.
Yeah, Queen of Staten Island thing.
Yeah, but I'm quite into this new vibe that she's got. It's sort of a bit more footballer's wife. I don't know. So, you know, she's still really quite detestable. But it just works. And obviously, you know, people have gone down on, oh my God, I was about to say people have gone down on graves, which it's funny when we're talking about the Carmella match, but people's opinions have gone down when it comes to Corey Graves. But I enjoyed his commentary during this, because obviously it must be a bit of a weird situation to be in.
Yeah.
I am now just thinking about what I nearly said, so somebody needs to jump in and save me.
Okay, Brett, what was your favourite match? Best of the rest.
I'm going to go for the tag championship with the Hurt Business versus the New Day, and the Hurt Business going over.
I know.
I was hoping. Do you know what? Like, I love the New Day, Kofi and Thingy, but when I was watching,
you love them, Kofi and Thingy,
and Xavier
I've got
Woods.
a lot of love for the New Day Thingy and whatchamacallit.
But I was hoping, because I really like the combination of like Cedric and Shelton Benjamin, like both quality wrestlers, but also like there's, you know, Benjamin's more of a bruiser and grappler, and Cedric Alexander being the high flyer. And like the whole black and gold thing, I'm actually loving the Hurt Business as a stable. I think it's great.
Yeah, they look good.
They look good. You know, it's good talent there, and so yeah, I really enjoyed this match, and I really enjoyed the finish as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought this was a lot of fun. I've always got a soft spot for Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah,
and Cedric Alexander's great as well.
I hope they run with it for a bit.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Did you know that it is 17 years since Shelton last won tag gold?
17 years.
They mentioned it in the commentary, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
I think so. Oh,
okay, that's not where I got it from. I just knew. Do you know who he was last champion with, or what tag team?
Ooh,
no.
Getting primed up for the quiz next week.
Is his partner? Was his partner? Is he still wrestling today?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Bode well.
I wasn't watching at this time, and actually, I haven't heard of this guy, which might be a bit of a travesty. Let's see. The guy is still alive. He is 48 years old.
48 years old. No idea, Adam. Put us out of the misery.
No.
Charlie Haas. Haas? Charlie Haas or Haas? Haas.
Yeah, I don't know the pronunciation. I remember him though.
Yeah,
they were called the world's greatest tag team.
There you go.
He was also in a faction called Team Angle with Shelton. Benjamin and Kurt Angle.
Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah. I know, guy.
Cool.
Well, not really, but I remember Team Angle.
Yeah, I like this match too, and I just kept on thinking about Sam. Sam loves the Hurt Business, and now they've got all the gold. They've got tag belts. They've got the United States Championship. He must be loving it.
Yeah, MVP's done so well, isn't he? Because he came back for Mania, did he? Since then, he's just sort of his presence on the show has just grown bigger and bigger.
Mm.
Yeah, it's nice to have another decent manager.
Yeah,
because for so long it was literally just Heyman and then a load of failures. So, and I like the fact that this match was a nice reminder of how good Cedric Alexander can be.
Yeah,
because he's just been sort of wallowing, doing nothing, and that's the character he's playing now. He's like, I was just doing nothing, and now I've got my chance with the Hurt Business. But he was doing some great things in this match, and nice to see him with a belt. I will go next. I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, the SmackDown's Women's Championship match was definitely my next best. But come on, guys, it's pretty obvious what my next best moment was. The return of Charlotte.
Yeah.
I was so happy. I didn't expect it at all. I don't know if it had been telegraphed, if people had been mentioning it or predicting it. I don't know if you'd seen spoilers, but were you shocked, John?
Yeah, pretty shocked actually. Yeah.
What were you expecting, Brett? Anyone else?
I'd seen a spoiler, so I was expecting Charlotte.
I thought she might come back at the Rumble rather than now. I'm glad she's back.
Yeah, I was thinking, will it be a debut? And I just couldn't work out who that might be. I didn't consider that it could be Charlotte. I'd sort of forgotten about Charlotte in a weird way, but I mean, as soon as she hit the moonsault, I was just like, everything's all right in the world. Like, there's literally nothing wrong in this world at the moment. There are no problems or issues that can't be soothed by seeing Charlotte moonsault.
6'3" Charlotte doing a moonsault.
Yeah. I think she sort of missed the, she could have come back as maybe Biker Charlotte or something, mixed up, changed the gimmick.
Good opportunity.
Instead, she's come back exactly
the same.
She's a
Flair. It's a classic. Yeah. When you're a Flair, that's all you need to be.
Yeah.
I have to say, when she came out, I kind of got myself ready for this is not going to be much of a match, really. It's just going to be putting Charlotte over. And they did do that, but it was still like a really fun match. Like, I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't think Asuka fared too well in this match, though.
Do you reckon?
I actually, this was probably my least favourite match of the night, the actual match, considering the talent. Because again, I thought, wow, this is like a WrestleMania level match in many ways when you think about Shayna Baszler, and then obviously Asuka and Charlotte, and then,
yeah, I thought
Asuka and Nia.
I just thought Asuka took a lot of the beating without being able to give much back in this match, so therefore she didn't fare too well, considering I know Charlotte's back, but Asuka is the champion, the women's champ. So
Yeah.
I just thought she should have been a bit stronger. I don't mind her being like the, needing the hot tag sort of person, but I think she could have had more in this match.
How
standing.
long until they put the belt on Charlotte, do you reckon? Rumble?
I mean,
Post Rumble?
the amount of time Charlotte has just waltzed back or waltzed into NXT and just taken the belt. Like, never does she have to
exactly
climb her way
what she
back
did
up the
here.
ladder.
She walked
Yeah.
in and got the belt.
Yeah, and I knew it was going to happen as well. Yeah, I just thought, well, this is definitely, Charlotte's winning this.
Yep.
But yeah, great moment. I was actually filled with joy when that happened. My notes, I just wrote yes with about 7 S's and 4 exclamation marks. So yeah, I was very happy about that. Any other sort of best of the rest moments or exciting things?
The backstage segment with R-Truth was very funny. With Big E.
when he was like,
when
he was talking about your lips don't touch
Yeah.
when you say touch, but they do when you say separation, or was it separate?
Sometimes he gets on my nerves, R-Truth, but sometimes it hits me just right. You have to be in the right mood for R-Truth.
Oh.
Yeah. I like the Billie Kay and Asuka promo
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
with
I like
the-
Billie
with
Kay a
the
lot. She's so funny.
Plate mask.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I like that Asuka gets to be like still a bit like the dominating Asuka, but also fun with
Yeah.
it. So she gets to be silly
klutz.
because she is. Especially if you see
Yeah.
her Instagram, she's bonkers.
Oh, I still haven't really checked that out, but I keep hearing weird things about
A lot
stuff
of like
that Asuka
Simpsons
does.
gifs with a weird frame.
Yeah, she does weird cooking bits and then
Doesn't
just
she-
what she's eating and just random.
Yeah.
It's good.
Good. Okay. Well, I mean, does that mean we've basically covered every single match? It
think
does.
so.
Yeah, we have.
And we're talking about WWE pay-per-view. We've covered every single match before we got to worst of the rest. That's good going. That rarely happens, but there's definitely a couple of things that we can mention in this section because I've got a couple of things lined up. Worst of the rest. Any bad moments, John?
I really hated the whole little video thing of the 2020 getting beaten up by 2021.
Oh yeah.
That's in my list.
That was
But also
terrible.
just being a bit of a Scrooge because I mean that was quite funny.
Was
So
it?
cheesy though.
It was so
hated it.
cheesy. I was like, "Is this COVID?" But it doesn't
Yeah, it was
look
a
like
bit
COVID.
germy,
Oh, it's
wasn't it?
2020. It was a
very
Listerine
American as
advert
well.
or a Domestos, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, we've only got a few days and then this terrible time's over. Like it's all just going to be fixed.
Yeah.
January the 1st comes round, COVID's gone, and everything's back to normal again. But was Braun Strowman the voice of 2020 as well? I think he
Oh,
was.
I didn't notice.
Go and check that out, listeners, if you want to go and discover whether or not that was Braun Strowman. I think it was. It sounded like him. Brett, any worst of the rest?
Probably, but not that I can think of at the moment.
This is also very rare. I've got one, which was when Heyman had the little chat with Kayla Braxton.
Yeah.
And he checked out her arse and then went, aesthetics over competency again.
Oh dear, I missed
And it's
this.
just like,
Yeah, that was cringe. Really bad.
yeah, that's like old school and unnecessary. And you just think, well, Kayla, why are you agreeing to this? And Heyman, why you do? You can do that segment in so many different ways without having to like physically look back and check out her ass.
Yeah, it's poor. It's poor.
Okay, well, I think that's it. Wow, what a quick segment. That is the quickest by far. I wonder if Sam was here, what he'd be saying. No doubt he'd have a few things. He's been down at WWE over the last few months. Okay, Star Performer now, where we pick out our MVP for the night, except it can't be MVP. John, who's yours?
Kevin Owens.
Ooh. Brett?
Same.
We've got a full house for Kevin Owens. Yeah, tempting to pick Charlotte, but Kevin Owens it is. And now it's time for the overall rank where we score the pay-per-view out of 10, see how it compares to the other ones. I think this is going to do all right, John, do you want to give this a score?
I really want to give this a 9, but something in my head is telling me that's too much. So I'm going to go 8.75.
Oh my days.
That is such
I
a high
loved
score.
this. I thought it was really good.
I mean, I'm just scrolling back through, guys. last time have you scored an 8.75 before? No, you gave an 8.5 to Evolution. That was an incredible pay-per-view. You're saying this was better than that?
That was an incredible pay-per-view, not necessarily for the match quality.
Okay.
Throughout the card, I'd say. But I think that I really enjoyed this pay-per-view. What can I say?
Fair enough.
That was an old
Fair
John.
enough.
I don't know what that guy was thinking.
That's true. Brett, what do you think?
I think I got to give it a solid 7.
Okay.
I think 7. It was good. I don't think it was great, but I thought it was good.
Okay, and I was trying to work this out before because I was quite inclined to go I was quite inclined to go along with John and go for something like an 8.5 or a 9 because I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to go for a 7.75.
Oh, what?
Although it was better. I gave Survive Series an 8 and it was definitely on a level with that. Let's give it an 8. So the average is 7.91. That falls between WrestleMania Night 1 from this year, got a 7.87.
Wow.
And Money in the Bank, also this year, got a 7.93. Money in the Bank, where Otis won.
Oh yeah, but that was like
Sam
Rey
gave it a
Mysterio
9.
getting thrown off a roof and
Yeah,
dying.
the women's match and the men's match at the same time through the build. That was cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's very true. Okay, fine. Anyway, a good score. I mean, this is a weird thing because behind the scenes, listeners, we've been talking a lot about the podcast and we've been talking about how it's tough sometimes to gee ourselves up to watch all of these WWE pay-per-views. But the last few we've scored have got a 7.9, an 8.4, 6.25 for Hell in a Cell, a 7.3, not bad. They've been doing all right.
Yeah, they have.
It's almost as if there were other sort of things going wrong in the world that is affecting our enthusiasm. Okay, anyway, that was what we thought of TLC. You can tune in next week if you want to get a little few thoughts from Sam, or indeed just find him on social media and hassle him. After this short break, we'll hear what the listeners thought.
Back of the neck of Charlotte into the hardest part of the ring, courtesy of Carmella.
Give it to Carmella, wisely using the ring to her advantage.
Okay, listeners' comments. So we asked what was better than you expected and what was worse than you'd hoped for. Graham Hughes. Difficult as Reigns versus Owens was as good as expected, and Orton versus Fiend was just as over the top and ridiculous. New Day versus Hurt Business I enjoyed a lot more than I had any right to. A match with both Asuka and Flair should be better, but when you have Nia Jax, what else can you do?
True.
Wow, some heat on there on Nia.
Oh yeah, I'm all for heat on Nia at the moment.
Yeah,
I don't think she's been doing great at all. I'm getting annoyed with her no selling as well.
I know, I mentioned that the last time we saw her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
not working.
We'll see. I feel like they're pushing her quite a lot at the moment. Like, she didn't take the pin in that match, did she? It was Shayna. Lots of mms. Carl Luckhurst. Slasher versus Carmella was better than I expected. Yes. Fiend versus Orton was indescribable as had no clue what to expect. Poor camera work and continuity did my head in. Orton got into the ring with one match and then had a box in his hand. Overall, solid start and finish with Tosh in the middle. Oh, I think the stuff in the middle was probably the best.
Tosh from the Bill.
Tosh. Oh, do you reckon?
I didn't see him make an appearance.
That is such an old cultural reference.
My mum and dad used to let me stay up and watch the Bill. It was on at 8 o'clock. Used to be allowed to stay up and watch it. So that that shows how old we are.
Tosh was a very fat man with a tash.
He was. Tosh the Tash.
No longer with us, I believe.
Correct.
Rest in peace, Tosh. This one goes out to you, big guy.
Tosh and Wyndham. You guys.
It's been a rough day.
It really has.
I
don't think Tosh died in the same way, though.
No. Well, let's make that very clear. He did not die in the ring.
No. I'm going to find out how he died. You carry on.
Okay. I think I'm going to guess, but let's find out. Finally, Clint McCormick. Sasha Banks versus Carmella. Surprised, but they have talented women if built and used right. Last 3 matches I'd hoped would be better. Ooh. Come on, that Kevin Owens Roman's match was amazing.
John's not having any of that.
Not having that. Come on, that was
Not
so
having
good. It's full of joy and just passion. I loved it.
Oh, God, guys. This is a horrible, horrible tale about Tosh's death.
Oh, my God.
A chronic alcoholic, he played Tosh
dear.
continuously from 1988 until he was sacked from the bill in 1998 for turning up drunk and failing to learn his lines. Within days, he was admitted to a clinic for detoxification and was administered antabuse, but then he left the premises to drink alcohol. He returned on May 1998 in an intoxicated state, retired to bed, fell asleep, choked on his vomit. His widow subsequently fought to prove that he had died as a result of negligence, but lost the case. He died just 1 week after recording his last scenes for the bill.
Wow. Merry Christmas, everyone.
But, guys, just like Wyndham Rotunda, he was later cremated.
Oh, my God.
And I'm extremely sorry about all of this. But again, it's quite fitting, I think, with the general mood. So thanks to the listeners for getting in touch. And thanks for getting in touch throughout this crazy, mad year.
Yes.
I mean, you've had nothing else to do. Next week, if Sam is back and he hasn't got COVID, then we are doing the quiz. And Brett is hosting it.
Yes.
Is it ready?
It's 80% ready, which is much closer than I ever expected it to be.
Yeah, you're way ahead of the curve. I would barely have anything done by this point.
Yeah. We've had a few times where we've been like, Brett, if you need it, we can share it out. We can do something that's a bit different. We can do a round each. No pressure.
Really worried about my attempt.
Okay, so that's next week, which I think is the first time we will have ever had a podcast out between Christmas and New Year. So that's different. And also a little teaser. We're going to have a little announcement in that podcast about the future of Hardest Part of the Ring.
Dun, dun,
So if that doesn't get everybody listening, I don't know what will. Brett, how do people get in touch?
If people would like to get in touch with us, they can send emails to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com, or they can find us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. We are at hardestpartpod.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, John.
Thanks.
And thanks everybody for listening. And as we said, we really appreciate it throughout the year. Hope you all can have a good Christmas, all things considered. Merry Christmas from Hardest Part of the Ring. Goodbye from me, Adam. Goodbye, John.
Happy New Year as well. Although I think we're recording in between.
We'll say that next week.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll say that next
I shot my load too early
God.
there. Damn it.
Fuck. Classic. Goodbye, Brett.
And Merry Christmas, everyone.
And goodbye to you lot out there. And that was the Hardest Part of the Ring. R.I.P. Tosh.
That is the hardest